Social Security benefits haven't seen major changes in 50 years, but that could all change soon. A new amendment could prevent millions of seniors from falling into poverty and inject billions into local economies. In this video, we'll break down Congressman Larson's groundbreaking Social Security amendment, what it includes, why it matters for every American, and whether it has any chance of passing in today's divided Congress. Stay until the end to discover exactly how this bill could affect your future benefits, your community's economy, and what actions you can take to support this critical legislation. Welcome to Financial Area, your trusted source for breaking news on retirement planning and Social Security. If you find this information valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on developments that could impact your financial future. For over 5 decades, Americans have relied on a Social Security system that has remained fundamentally unchanged despite our evolving economy and increased cost of living. That may finally be changing. Congressman Larson has introduced what many are calling the most significant Social Security amendment in generations as part of an ongoing reconciliation bill in Congress. The timing couldn't be more critical. According to recent projections, the Social Security trust funds are on track to be depleted within just 8 years. When that happens, and if Congress fails to act, automatic benefit cuts of approximately 23% would take effect. Imagine that for a moment. Millions of seniors who carefully planned their retirement suddenly losing nearly a quarter of their monthly income. For the average recipient currently receiving $1,800 monthly, that means surviving on about $1,386, barely enough to cover housing in most parts of the country, let alone food, healthcare, and other necessities. The inadequacy of current benefits is already pushing many seniors to the financial edge. Over 10% of Americans aged 65 and older currently live below the poverty line, with that percentage rising dramatically among women and minority seniors. Congressman Larson's amendment seeks to address these shortfalls through several targeted enhancements to the existing program. The proposed changes would implement a more generous cost of living adjustment formula that better reflects the actual expenses seniors face, particularly healthcare costs that rise faster than general inflation. Additionally, the amendment establishes a new minimum benefit level designed to ensure no one who has worked for decades ends up impoverished in retirement. These aren't radical new concepts, they're common sense adjustments to ensure the program fulfills its original promise of preventing elderly poverty. Beyond its role as retirement insurance, Social Security stands as America's most effective anti-poverty program, not just for seniors, but for children as well. When grandparents can support themselves, they often provide essential financial and childcare support to younger generations. Currently, over 4 million children receive either direct or indirect benefits through Social Security, and that number would likely increase under the enhanced program. The human impact of these benefits cannot be overstated. Consider the case of a typical retiree who worked for 35 years at moderate wages. Under the current system, they might receive benefits that place them just barely above the poverty line. With the proposed enhancements, that same retiree could have enough additional income to afford their prescription medications without cutting back on groceries, a choice too many seniors face today. What many people don't realize is that Social Security isn't just a lifeline for individuals, it's an economic engine for entire communities. Congressman Larson highlighted this point by noting that approximately $310 million in Social Security benefits flow into local economies every single month. This isn't money sitting in investment accounts. It's immediately spent at grocery stores, pharmacies, restaurants, and other local businesses. When seniors have more money to spend, local economies thrive. Studies have shown that each dollar in Social Security benefits generates approximately $2 in economic activity through what economists call the multiplier effect. As businesses receive this income, they hire more workers, who then spend their wages in the community. Rural and small-town America stands to gain the most from enhanced benefits. In many smaller communities, Social Security represents one of the largest sources of stable income. Small businesses in these areas particularly depend on retiree spending to maintain profitability. Without it, many would be forced to close, creating economic dead zones in already struggling regions. Job creation resulting from increased benefits shouldn't be underestimated either. Economic models suggest that for every $1 billion in additional Social Security spending, approximately 6,000 jobs are created or maintained. If the enhanced benefits in Larson's amendment were implemented, this could translate to hundreds of thousands of jobs nationwide, particularly in healthcare, retail, and service sectors. Despite these clear economic advantages, the political path forward remains complicated. We're currently witnessing one of the most divided Congresses in recent history, with the Republicans generally favoring benefit restrictions to extend the program's solvency, while Democrats like Congressman Larson push for expanded benefits funded through increased revenue. This particular amendment is attached to a reconciliation bill, a special type of legislation that only requires a simple majority to pass, rather than the 60-vote threshold needed for most Senate business. This procedural nuance gives it a fighting chance, though significant hurdles remain. The Republican-controlled Congress has been advancing the reconciliation bill without much Democratic input, making it uncertain whether Larson's amendment will survive the legislative process. However, the popularity of Social Security among voters from both parties creates an interesting dynamic that might transcend typical partisan lines. Previous reform attempts have repeatedly failed, primarily because they approach the issue from either a pure cost-cutting or pure benefit expansion perspective. The most successful Social Security legislation historically has combined modest adjustments to both the revenue and benefit sides, something Larson's proposal aims to do. If passed, implementation would likely begin gradually, with some provisions taking effect within months, while others phase in over several years. This staggered approach helps both beneficiaries and the program administrators adjust to the changes without disruption. For those watching who care about the future of Social Security, whether you're currently receiving benefits or decades away from retirement, there are concrete ways to make your voice heard. Contacting your representatives in Congress remains one of the most effective actions, particularly if you share personal stories about how Social Security impacts your family. Online petitions and organized advocacy groups can amplify individual voices. Organizations like the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare provide regular updates on legislative developments and opportunities for collective action. As this legislation moves through Congress in the coming weeks, staying informed will be crucial. Follow reliable news sources and government websites for the most accurate information. We at Financial Area are committed to bringing you regular updates on this amendment's progress and what it means for your financial future. Remember that Social Security isn't just another government program. It's a promise made to generations of American workers. Whether this amendment succeeds or fails will reveal much about our national priorities and our commitment to ensuring dignity in retirement for all Americans. Thanks for watching this important update. If you found this information valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to Financial Area for more critical insights on retirement security and financial planning. Until next time, stay informed and financially prepared.